everyone, what's going on? My name is Roosevelt Hawkins. A little background: I was born and raised in Bolton, Mississippi. I attended grade school in Clinton Public Schools. I received my bachelor's degree in history from Jackson State University. I'm a local historian, farmer, and activist here in the Jackson metro area. So from middle school to high school to college, I have served in many leadership capacities. Like many of you all, I became a leader first in my church. I served as the president of my church's youth outreach organization. But now that I've gotten older, I serve as the communications co-chair for the Jackson City Adult branch of the NACP. I'm a part of the NACP's Next Generation Leadership Program, and also I am a Prince Hall Mason in my hometown. So the topic I will be speaking on is making a difference. My background scriptures will come from Matthew, the 5th chapter, verses 14 through 16. Those verses say, "You are the light of the world. A town built on a hill cannot be hidden. Neither do people light a lamp and put it under a bowl. Instead, they put it on a stand, and it gives light to everyone in the house. In the same way, let your light shine before others, that they may see your good deeds and glorify your Father in heaven." So it's pretty explanatory, y'all. God didn't give us light to hide it. We must use that light to help and make a difference. And when you think about that, if you give people light, they will find a way. So you know how your light can shine even brighter though? Be yourself. Be genuine. So let's break this down, y'all. If God gives each and every one of us our own light, and it only works for us, are you really shining, trying to be like someone else? That could be your problem. For so long, it was mine. I admired other people's lights and didn't even realize how bright mine had shone. It's sort of kind of like Thor and his hammer. It wasn't made for the Hulk. It wasn't made for Captain America. It was made for Thor. Each and every superhero had their own unique God-given powers, their own light, just like each one of us has our own light. So I will be giving you all steps in the direction of making a difference. So number one, know who you are. What are your family values? My family values are education, hard work, and serving the Lord. Those are the things you need to carry with you through your life. Everyone needs some type of structure or guide to live by. When I got to college, I saw things I've never seen in my life, y'all. I had fun. We all had fun, but I didn't lose myself. We didn't have our parents watching over us like they did in grade school. So some students turned a total 360, and there ended up being repercussions for their bad decisions. Whether it was failing a test, a class, getting kicked out of school, or even going to jail. With freedom comes responsibility. Your parents aren't trying to get on your nerves. They just want to make sure you know who you are, so when you get into the world, you won't go astray. You will be doing a total disservice to your family going against your teachings. And when I mean teachings, the good teachings. So in order to effectively lead somebody, you have to know yourself first. Okay, number two, y'all. Stay rooted in your faith. You have to be rooted in Christ, young people. It's cool to listen to rap music, to have fun, because we all do it. But you must be rooted in Christ. God sent his spirit down here for a reason. He knew times would be hard and life will constantly challenge you. So when you really know God, you handle situations better and you handle them different. So because the things you go through in life, you are going to need strong faith in a higher being, which is Jesus Christ for us. Many times I was tempted to put my hands on people, y'all. I want to throw them hands, but my faith and discipline stopped me from doing so. Many times we make the bad decisions we make because we are not strongly rooted in Christ. We all fall short of the glory of God, but your faith will save you from self-destruction. One of my favorite Bible stories is in the book of Daniel. with the three Hebrew boys and the king Nebuchadnezzar. The Hebrew boys' God was not the same God of the king. The king brought in all of the leaders and made them bow down to the gold statue he created. The three Hebrew boys stood strong in their faith and did not kneel to the statue. They were thrown into the fiery furnace, and the soldiers that threw them in the furnace perished from the heat of the furnace. So the king saw the three boys in the fire with another man. That man that was in there with them was God. This lets you know they brought their faith into the fire. God saved the boys, and they came out of the fire looking the same way they did before they went in. Keep in mind, the soldiers that carried them in there perished, but the boys made it out whole. The king, astonished by what he saw, even began to worship the God of the three boys. What's the moral of the story? It's about who you choose to carry with you in the fire. That determines how you will come out. Your light and faith will even make your enemies change their paths. Don't forget that. Next, young people, know your history. 20th century leader Marcus Garvey once said, "A people without the knowledge of their past history, origin, and culture is like a tree without roots." Ask your parents about your family history. Read up on important leaders and their philosophies. Every prominent leader studied from leaders of the past. Dr. King studied the works of Booker T. Washington and other 19th century leaders. In NACP, I had to understand the history of our people in order to help our people. So the NACP is big on voter engagement and voter education, and to understand the black vote and why there still is voter suppression today, you have to understand the civil rights movement of the 1950s and 60s and why they fought for voting rights. To understand those times, you have to understand the Constitution of 1890, which was put in place to suppress the black vote because too many blacks were voting during the Reconstruction times of the 1870s and had gained too much political power. So an effective leader or difference maker must know his or her history. And lastly, it gives people a sense of pride that is needed to advance our race. Next, have integrity. Take a stand. The late Congressman John Lewis once said, "When you see something that is not right, not fair, not just, you have to speak up. You have to say something. You have to do something." So in other words, don't be scared, because the same God that was with the Hebrew boys is the same God that's with you today. Ezekiel 2:1 says, "And he said to me, Son of man, stand on your feet, and I will speak with you." Many people hated Jesus because he stood on the truth. Many people hated Dr. Martin Luther King, Medgar Evers, and other civil rights people because they stood on the truth. So truth has never been popular, but it would change the world for good. Be honest, stand for what's right. A good leader stands on his truth. Next, research your interests and be well knowledgeable. Abolition Frederick Douglass once said, "Knowledge makes a man unfit to be a slave." So, the more you know, the more you grow. The more you educate yourself, the less likely someone will put you in an oppressed state. You must read. In order to be a change agent, you have to be aware of your surroundings. You have to know what you're talking about. Reading kills ignorance, and knowing will make you more effective. If you are into science, study. If you are into math, study. Anything else, study. That's how the greats become great, by studying their craft. In The Last Dance documentary, Michael Jordan talked about how Kobe called him random times of the night, asking him about different plays. Kobe and Michael are two of the GOATs in basketball, right? So you have to be a student of your craft. So study, 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 practice, practice, practice. Last but not least, execute. At times, we spend so much time talking up what we're going to do and don't ever do it. Don't get stuck in that trend. Time flies and it doesn't wait on anybody. I've always been the type where, like, when I was younger, I was the type I want to execute and carry this out, but I'm not ready. I'm too young, too inexperienced. And then time kept on going by and I wasn't getting anything done. So I told myself, look, you have to execute. Stop being scared. So ask yourself this: what percentage of my obstacle is my fear, and what percentage is the actual obstacle itself? Don't let your mind psych you out from doing something. How would you know how things would turn out if you never try it, if you never take a leap of faith? A leader doesn't just talk the talk, he walks it as well. He's out there with the people, he's putting in the necessary work. If you are not proactive, you cannot make a difference.